these two, man. These two are getting on to me. They're not happy about my lateness.
No. This what you should have done. Late Zone TV. Big up to Saeed for the raid. Late Zone TV. Yeah, we're here. Yeah, and this is even the right layout. This is how you know he's late. We never got on this layout. Look at this. This is how you know he's a mess.
I know. Just give me some time, bro. I can't. These men are on to me, bro. If you see the messages that Jules and Hooks are sending me personally, it is crazy. These guys, they give me no leeway.
No, do you know what I know? This guy can't multitask at all. Because even when you're in that stream, you could have been in this stream. You could have set things up.
My computer. My internet is too slow for that.
Oh, fairs.
It's too slow for that. Like if I start doing that, my computer's gonna start messing around. Things gonna start happening. I didn't even know. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even get into all that. I'm trying to. You're asking for problems.
I hear it. Excuse on TV. I hear it. Let's go, man.
You hearing the conversation though about Esteval and Rio?
I can't lie. You were going mad, bro. Do you know what I know? You were going mad. Yeah, this is these things. Sometimes he argues so much, and you always tell us, don't speak to respond, speak to listen. Yeah, listen first.
Yeah.
CB never once said the Dalman comparison. You
know,
no. What happened was Saeed said, "Oh, what about Dalman and Rio?" Then he said, "No. We ain't comparing to Dalman and Rio. We're comparing to Yamal. Esteval's Yamal's age. We're comparing him to Yamal. He's levels above these." That's exactly what he said. Then you're going, "Why are you saying Dalman's name? Why are you saying Dalman's name?" And you're getting onto him for something that he never even said, and you were just arguing.
But the difference is that he's putting Esteval with Yamal. He's not their rival.
But that wasn't the point you was making. The point was you
was making about
this is your problem though. You make so many different points, you can't keep up with it. So your point that you was actually making was why are you comparing him to Dalman? And then when you started to realize that maybe he didn't compare him to Dalman, it was like, okay, so Estebal's not on your Mars level. And then you're just bouncing between your points because you're just making sure that there is like you just don't like what you're saying.
I don't like what you're saying, basically. Yeah, but obviously, that's the fun and games part of it, isn't it? That's the fun and games part of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care that much whether Esteval's compared to Yamal or not. I'm not really that bothered, to be honest. I just like that part of it is the fun and games part. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're liking and subscribing and all of the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Pray for Dean. Dean's out. You know what I'm saying? It's my broski. He's there. He's ready. He'll be back soon. You know what I'm saying? He's just recovering. He'll be back soon. Big up my boy Halftime Hooks. Always. You know what I'm saying? My brother Durag Diaries. These are my big people, man. You know how we do, man. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. What did you think of yesterday's game, though?
Brother, Liverpool, they don't want to face Arsenal right now.
I was talking to my brother for an hour before last night, after the game and stuff. He is not worried about, my brother. My brother is like another version of me, just like exactly the same, you know what I'm saying? He's way more confident. He's like, bruv, I ain't worried about Liverpool at all, fam.
Yeah, I'm not worried about them, man. I'm on what he's on. I'm not worried about them, man, at all.
He ain't worried about them one little bit. He goes, I'm not worried about them.
Not worried about
them. I understand it. I said it from when I watched that first game with them. I looked to their bench and I was like, these men actually have a squad issue. Like, people gassing up all these signings. They're still got a weak squad. Their first 11 strong, but the squad is weak. Yesterday, they prevailed and the substitutions worked. But let's be honest, you're not always going to get lucky like that. You're not always going to have a team that missed so many chances. Newcastle probably should have scored more, man. Like they had quite a few chances. Liverpool just got... I think they were very lucky that it was a 10 against 11. Because if it was 11 against 11 and they had Anthony Gordon on the pitch, it would have been problems for them. But they see out the game, innit? And the one thing that Liverpool do better than any other team is even when they was 2-2 and they equalised, there's still that feeling that Liverpool can get the job done. And ultimately they did.
Yeah. You have to rate them for that. Like, obviously, you rate them for getting the W because at this point, it's not really about performances. It's about results. It's about points on the board, isn't it? But I don't know, man. Like, watching that game, if even Newcastle had a striker, like a proper striker, like even if they started with like Asula from the beginning, because obviously he started playing. But even if I'm just saying, if they just had a strike, if they just had someone who's
they would have won if they had a strike. That Isaac, they got a striker. He's just not playing.
If Isaac was like, the game is so, and this is what I'm saying, the game is so different if Isaac plays. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm now looking at it like, when I play them, I'm gonna have a striker. Do you get me? I'm gonna have a stronger front line. Like
it is at Anfield though.
it's at Anfield. I hear it, and Anfield is a tricky place to go. But I like what I'm saying is I'm not getting exploited in ending minutes like that, like how like Newcastle. I'm not getting exploited like that. My defense is too strong, and I have to call it out. When the midfield got a bit physical, Havertz was lost.
Yeah, he was lost. He's been lost.
He was lost in the game though. And Hooks, you remember that stream when I got cooked for saying Liverpool might have too many chefs in the kitchen, too many ball playing players when they have. I said, because I was saying the Liverpool fans went mad at me because I was saying Salah, Isaac, Ekitike, Havertz. It sounded like too many players. You got way too many main players. Let's see, Isaac was the main player for Newcastle. Havertz was the main player for Liverpool. Frankfurt, the main player was Ekitike after Marmoush left. So you've got all these players that are used to being heavy ball carriers, take a lot of the ball up for their team. When they all start working together, some of them are going to look lost. When I'm watching the past two games, and especially yesterday, or it's definitely the past two games, Salah and Havertz look lost in the system. They both look lost. Salah somehow, propped up with a GA yesterday, which should, to be fair, I think that should have been a Szoboszlai assist, bro. That little layoff, that fake was cold.
Yeah, the goal was
he sold everyone, yeah.
He sold everyone. He did.
But away from that, Havertz done nothing. People are saying Havertz will be fine. How would he be fine? Havertz has done nothing. Like, I've looked at Havertz and say this guy's a ghost in the games. We mentioned it last time when it was Caicedo. We were cooking Caicedo from the jump. He was giving away penalties. We were cooking him. Havertz is doing nothing. He's literally doing nothing on the pitch, and people are just sitting there saying, give him time, give him time. No. We don't expect to see this from 120 million. I expected to see him come in and bag a goal. This is what I expected.
We were cooking Enzo from the start as well.
Look what they did to Gyökeres. Putting in similar after one game, and he scored in the game before in pre-season.
Yeah. But he's Kimberlin, isn't it? Yeah, but Havertz is, like...
It is too early, though. It is too early. It's 2 games. You know what I mean? It is too early. I think for 116 million, you don't get the time, but it is, as a real football community, we know it's too early. You know what I'm saying?
It's too early to call him rubbed or shit, but it's not too early to get onto him. That's the point. There's an expectation, and he's not living up to that expectation, so we can say he's not performing. But it's too early to say, yeah, he's a scrub, he's done, he's not going to be good in the Premier League. But right now, evaluating what we've seen, he's been a scrub, bro. That's a fact. Evaluating the performance. If you never knew Havertz, you didn't know his price tag, and you just watched him play, you'd say that player looks all right, but he's a bit of a scrub. Harvey Elliott come on and looked a little bit better than him, looked a bit more positive. Like, I ain't seeing much with Havertz right now, man.
But when I was having this conversation with people beforehand, this is how Havertz has always played. I don't know if people actually know.
Yes.
He's been the Leverkusen fans used to always argue that he goes ghost for long periods of games. That's what they've argued that for years. So this is him anyway. He will get into opportunities and chances because he's a creative player. But this is him. You know what I'm saying? This is what he does. But also, one thing I like, what I think is more the issue is the midfield looks open because Havertz is not a player that can stop their number 6.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's where the issue is. Like, I'm a lot more confident if Zubimendi can get on the ball because I don't think Havertz is stopping him.
I think their issue has been, though, is finding that partner to grab him. But obviously, the last game they had McAllister and Szoboszlai. Yesterday they had Gravenberch and Curtis Jones. So they've gone with 2 different midfield duos, innit? I think when it's McAllister and Gravenberch, they look a lot better, a lot more solid in midfield, and you don't see teams roaming through like you did yesterday, because there was times when Newcastle just gliding through midfield and there's literally no one really stopping them. Like, Gravenberch's doing his job, but Curtis Jones, I don't know. I don't really rate Curtis Jones too tough. He's all right, but he doesn't specialize in anything. When you have McAllister and Gravenberch in there, I think it looks a lot better. Yeah. And with Havertz, the thing is with Havertz is I feel like if you have someone that's constantly getting the ball to him when he's in, because he's always in a good space. He's always operating in the half space areas. He's always just floating sort of as a proper number 10, just waiting for the ball in between players. If somebody's constantly feeding him, I can see Havertz being an all-action player, but that's the problem, is he needs to be fed the ball in those positions. He's not like Palmer, or he's not like a Maddison in a sense that they'll drop in a little bit deeper to pick up the play and then build up from there. He doesn't drop in deep. I always just see him, and it's probably instruction from Slot in it, but they need to be feeding him the ball.
I'm looking at it now, and maybe that money that Liverpool put towards Havertz, if they put that extra chunk towards Isak and maybe went for a partner for
like
Gravenberch,
Belabor or something.
yeah, and just put McAllister in the 10, it might be looking.
That's what Dean has been saying. This is the thing, yeah. Like a lot of the time when we're on stream, you talk to people. There's so much like new school terminology that it confuses actually what's actually going on. Like all of this stuff about, oh, this guy can't play Bruno can't play in the 8, but he can't play in the 10, and he can't play in the 2-man midfield. And where can he play? Or Mainu can't play in the 8 and he can't play in the 10, but he has to play with this. Like, but it's too much analysis. It's too much. Like at the end of the day, if you're a midfielder, you should be able to play the 2-man midfield or a 3-man midfield. That's how it goes. This is too.
No, I was listening to you say that on the thing as well. I feel like you were just
what I'm saying is, no, but my point I'm making is, yeah, it's too much analysis. And when I was talking to Dean has said for ages he wants Belabor and Gravenberch, and he wants McAllister in the 10. He's been saying this for ages. Yeah. That's what he wants, because he knows McAllister can come out of the way of the two guys that sort it all out, and you can go and do your thing further forward. There's too much over analysis of every individual. Oh, this guy can't play with that guy, and this guy can't play with that guy, and my man can't do this with it. It's too much, bruv. It's too much of it. So now all of a sudden, Havertz can't play with who? Szoboszlai and do you know what I mean? Like, who was he playing with yesterday? He was playing with Curtis Jones and
Curtis Jones and Gravenberch in the midfield.
Yeah, you can't play with all of that now. All of a sudden, what is he? Is it because of he's not a 10, or is it because he got the wrong players behind him?
But don't you think? No, but even when because you say there's overanalyzing, but sometimes you have to overanalyze to find the problem. When you're looking at a midfield, yes, we can look at multiple examples of midfields just working and they're not having the perfect trio. But then you can look at the midfield and you can be like, oh, we need a player like this so it complements, some of the other players' weakness. They should all complement each other in some ways, so you're filling every gap. Right now, with the midfield trio that they set up with, I think they lacked someone to progress the ball forward through that midfield, through passing it. Obviously, Curtis Jones wasn't doing that good. Gravenberch can, but I don't think that's his thing. Like, I don't sit there and say, yeah, this is what Gravenberch's going to do. He's going to break the lines and progress the ball consistently. So I feel like you have to overanalyze to a point to understand that that's a midfield that's not going to work. Looking at the game yesterday,
I don't know, man.
Curtis Jones and Gravenberch didn't work because they didn't work, or what?
I feel like the best players can play in 9 out of 10
that's the best players, but the majority of players aren't the best players. That's what you need to
know. I'm saying if you're a midfielder, for example, so Havertz, for example, yeah, are you saying that he can't play with Jones and who did he play with yesterday? Jones and who was it?
Chemistry is a real thing in football. Chemistry is a real thing in football. Some players just don't play well. Like if you go back to the old school England, like we had Frank Lampard, Gerrard, and Paul Scholes, but they just couldn't play with each other in the England setup.
But that was a 2-man midfield. That wasn't a 3-man midfield.
No, but what I'm saying is you could never
find. You just said 2-man midfield, 3-man midfield, the midfield.
Yeah, but
no. I'm saying somebody was on the left side. I'm saying one of them was playing left wing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like cohesion and chemistry is a real thing in football. Like certain players just can't play well with other players, but they play better with other players. Like it just is what it is.
No, I agree. But then why are we writing him off then? Because they have not had any chemistry.
We're not writing him off.
I'm not writing him off.
Who wrote him off?
But we're criticizing Havertz, but then you're saying
you can criticize him. You can criticize him without writing him off.
Why?
What do you mean why? Because we're football fans. That's what we do. It's part of our game. We create content. I'm going to criticize a player when he's being costed 115 million pounds because I'm holding him accountable to the expectation that was put on him by his fans, as well as what the price tag puts the expectation on him. So I'm holding him accountable to that. And within 2 games, if he hasn't performed, then I'm going to call him out about it. Now I'm not calling
He's only just got there. He's only just got there.
Right, but that I know. But then there's 2 ways to look at it. D. You can be part of it or you be against it. You're part of it because you do this and you criticize players too. So
No, I'm
saying you can either be a part of the criticism or you're just completely against criticizing players in total, and you need to give them time. You can't be in and out.
No. What I'm saying, my point I'm making is, I'm saying I'm on the critical side. Don't get it twisted. I'm on the human side right now. I'm on the criticizing Havertz thing. But what I am saying is the over analysis that happens as to why he's not playing well or as to what he's doing. Maybe what I'm saying is the point of him not playing well is the type of player he is. Maybe this is the type of player he is, and he gets involved in assists and goals over time.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Just find.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what he's doing might be how he plays. It's not the fact that he's not playing well. It's the fact that this is how he plays. Do you get it?
But
like, I'm not sure what people are expecting.
So I've watched him a lot. Like I can say, I've seen him at least 15 times in Bayern Leverkusen shirts. So I've seen enough. Like across the last 2 seasons, because I watched them under Xabi Alonso, even when majority of the time I watched them not last year, the year before when they were on the Europa League run, because I was seeing quite a lot of the Europa League games and that, and when they went unbeaten. And he is that type of player, let's say he'll operate in the space, pick it up, and he makes the final pass, final action. Obviously in the Bundesliga, I think because they transition play, he's always getting a lot. When you're on the ball in the there's so much space ahead of you, there's always passes. It's always easy to play it forward, yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. You know what? Yeah, CB, I'm on. When I criticize Zubimendi, I criticized him for the role that he's supposed to play. So the role he's supposed to play is a controller. I don't think Zubimendi is a controller. I think these guys are getting it confused. Wirtz, he deserves criticism because what we expect from him, we expect him to be a Cole Palmer immediately. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is that they expect from Wirtz to be doing. They expect him to be.
It's because he was a GA monster in that league. We expect him to start replicating that. Now,
okay. So if he had scored yesterday, would it have been okay?
No. Yeah, I think he would be.
Even though he had a bad performance.
Yeah, because even if you have a so-so performance, but you're a 10 and you're new to the league, that goal gives you a lot of confidence going into your next game. I feel like
for him, it's good.
Yeah,
I mean, us analyzing it. It doesn't
change nothing to us analyzing, but let's have it right though. He still has the point of us scored in that game, so he still impacted the game to enough that he got a goal. I feel like at the moment his impact is so minimal that we're not even seeing him make the pass to the assist, or he's not even seeing him try and make that assist. We're not even seeing him have a shot. Like there was a couple of times where I saw him.
He did have a shot. He had a shot on target
on the left hand space. I see him there quite a lot. You was waiting for him because remember that he was there with XTK and they're doing little 1-2s on the edge of the box. I want to see him get that ball, forget the 1-2, shift it onto my right hand side, Ross. Show me something. Show me a bit.
That's not how he plays. That's not how he plays.
It is how he plays. I've seen him. That's exactly how he plays. What do you mean? He takes a lot of shots. You watch him with Bayern Leverkusen. That's exactly how he plays. He's always on the edge of the box trying to shoot and stuff. That's exactly it. So I want to see that from him. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? Yeah, I won't lie. Liverpool might have to consider like the potentiality of going into the market for another midfielder and potentially having Wirtz play off the left.
Man and I getting into the point of moving him. So would you pay 160 million for Wirtz to play off the left? When I was arguing with people, I had an argument with Izzy and Dean about this before, and other people about Palmer and Wirtz. And I said people have catapulted Wirtz into the Palmer category for no reason. Cole Palmer is an exception. He is like a once, he's the best 10 in the world. That's what I've been saying for the last year. So when people are talking about Wirtz and they say 160 million, now all of a sudden people are criticizing him, but you're now talking about putting him onto the left.
Yeah, potentially put him onto the left
because you think it's not working in the 10 after 2 games.
No, but I'm saying Liverpool may have to consider, because even when they signed Wirtz, I was looking at their midfield of Gravenberch, McAllister, and Wirtz, and I was already saying before a ball was kicked, that's a very weak midfield physically for the Prem. Like that's a midfield where more often than not they'll get run over, they'll get run through, all of that stuff. So yeah, there'll be times where they bully like the smaller teams, they'll pass around them, play around them, all of that stuff. But more often than not, they're gonna end up getting run. And you saw it against Newcastle. To a degree, you saw it against Bournemouth as well. Like they're not up for that combative physical part of the game.
But they knew that anyway.
Hence why I'm making the point of maybe they should consider going and grabbing someone like a Baleba and then moving Wirtz to the left and then playing with McAllister either in the 10 or
you're trying to shift Gakpo out of the game, and Gakpo was one of the best players on the pitch yesterday. Why would you drop Gakpo?
Yeah, I hear it, but then here's the thing, like cool. If they go and get Isak, then it's kind of problematic. But if they don't, you can just rotate Gakpo and Ekitike as your strikers.
They're right. They're rotating that already. If you look yesterday, you'd see that Ekitike and Gakpo were like swapping positions a lot already. So I can already think that, like, when you look at the way he's trying to set up, that them two are stuck in, like, Ekitike is the backup left winger. They bring Isak in, he's gonna swap and play that position. I get what you mean by playing Wirtz out wide. It might give him a bit more space on the ball. He might be able to be, on the touchline, run at his man, cut in. Go on, do your thing. But when I'm looking at the option of potentially seeing Wirtz on the left-hand side, people, I'll be real, it's not the one. It's not the one. I rate Wirtz. Like, I generally, coming into this league, I was one of the people that was backing him, the arguments against I'm saying, no, this is a real baller, a serious player. But for me, I'm very underwhelmed. Like, looking at him last season, what I saw from him was a player that would run in the half space, pick it up, all action, try and play a pass, line breaking pass. And it's always with the passes. Like, his carrying is all right, but he's a guy that used to spray it through the lines. So I'm not seeing him do that. Hey, be mad at me. You can be mad at me now. Be mad at me for saying that he's not performing, innit? I know Liverpool fans, they want to do the give him time. We can do that. We can give him time. But we got to be real. He's not been performing. But Hooks just went do never a foul. What are you saying? What are you saying about oh shit, finally changed the sound. It felt so weird to have full screen on us.
Oh my, yeah. I know. Sorry. I'm in.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? Yeah, Wirtz needs time. He will come good, but we need to see more from him. Like, he's giving.
Or maybe he wasn't worth 160 million, but then also maybe his 160 million is for what he actually can do when he needs to do it. So, for example, if you pay 160 million for him, he underperforms a little bit, but he scores the match winner in the cup final. It's worth it, isn't it? No. You
don't pay 115 million pounds just for a player to score in the cup final. What was he doing across the league season? You've said it yourself. You told me all last year that league's bread and butter. If the league's your bread and butter, then you need to perform in the league, not just score in the cup final.
No, I know, but I'm saying, for example, if we had bought Havertz and Havertz scored a winning goal, to me, it's that's what I'm saying. That's what it is, isn't it?
So to all the Chelsea fans, when they spent 75 or 70 million on Havertz and he scored the Champions League final goal, the winning goal, to them saying that he's justified his price tag, you're fine with that. You think, just because he done that, justify the price tag.
No, I was saying it makes sense because now you can say that's what you buy them for. Like Gyökeres, for example, we buy Gyökeres to score 30 goals a season. You know what I'm saying, if he wins us the league but he only scores 15, I'll accept.
How's he won you the league then? If he's only scored 15, then I'd argue to say that he didn't win you the league and that there's a more important player in your team.
But then you can say his argument is that I'm now the missing piece because you've won it. Now I'm here.
You could say that. You could, but naturally, 15 goals isn't a game changing to a player's to a season. Let's have it right. It's not game changing to a team's season, especially a team like Arsenal. Yeah, it can be the difference between you guys, potentially winning in some games and losing some games. But at the same time, we've got to be honest here. If he scores 15 goals, there's no way, people, that we're letting Arsenal fans get away with anything. If he bags 15 goals, he's getting caught.
I want to say Dean wants to say something, innit?
I want to talk about Wirtz.
Can you hear him?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of criticism about Wirtz. I hear it. It's a lot of money, whatever. Yeah, but see, my thing is this: if we can regain the Premiership and we can win titles, that's my thing. If he can add to that, I'm not comparing him with what's his name. What's the guy we comparing him with?
Palmer.
I'm not comparing him. If Gyökeres scores 20 goals this season, and you win the league, you're not going to say, Gyökeres. You're not going to say, Haaland scored 30 goals. You don't care about what Haaland done. You're not going to care. As long as you win the league, that's what you worry about. Yeah, I hear it. It's a lot of money for Havertz. I know it's a lot of money, bro. But the thing is, yeah, my thing is, if he can bring us another league, Champions League, that's what I'm with. You get me? Like, obviously, for the money you spent on him, you're gonna want GA. You're gonna want to see more stuff. Well, he's 21. He just come to 22. He just come to England, bro. Like, allow him. He didn't set his price tag. You get me? He just come here to play football. Like, and we're proper on him. I hear it. That's what football's about, bro. But come on, man. We're going on too far. We're going too far. This guy's been there 2 minutes. And man, I have to call them flops. They call him mad. I'm seeing madness online about him. I'm thinking, oh, let the guy live. Let him breathe. Let him breathe. Like, but yeah, I hear it, bro. I hear it. But you know, it's football, innit? I hear it. I hear the fans. It's gonna be content. I hear it. But you know what? Even time. But the thing is, obviously, I ain't gonna lie. There's a worry for next week. I ain't gonna lie to you. There is a worry. And you know me, D. I've really said before we linked with Havertz, I wanted Belaber in that midfield. I wanted Belaber. You get me? I wanted McAllister to move into a 8/10 role and have Belaber in the 6, and then you got Gravy in the 8 role. That's what I wanted. You get me? But now we've gone into this new role of we're gonna try to control. We're gonna try to control games. But Premiership, you need strength in there, man. That's the only problem. What I've seen so far, like, it's not been what I want to see. You get me? The midfield looks weak. Yes, they got beaten up. Now, I don't want. That's the one thing I do want to see next season. This is why I wanted Belaber for games like yesterday. I don't want to see Joe Linton stepping on my players. Yeah, I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see next week Zubimendi and Rice bullying my midfield. That's the one thing I can't stand in football. You get me? But yeah, man, give Bert some time, man. I know his content, but give him some time. You get me? But people, I'm gonna let you go back to what you're doing now. I'm gonna watch. I'm still locked in. I'm watching it. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, man. That's what I wanted to say.
No.
Yeah. Big up to Dean. You know, I think he makes some good points. He does make some fair points, but ultimately, I don't think that's like. I don't think it's fair. Like, all of this stuff that we're hearing that, oh, if we win the league, then he's come in and he's done his job. Well, no, you won the league before him. So winning the league with him doesn't necessarily mean he's done his job. I need to see his performance on the way to winning the league. Just like when you said, if Gyökeres helps you guys win the league, you guys were close enough to winning the league already. That just because Gyökeres has scored 15 goals doesn't mean he was the difference maker. You've signed,
it does.
No, because you've signed Eze, you signed Madueke. Those two may have played in more games and had better performances across the season, so they might have been the difference maker. Just because he scored the 15 goals and that's the narrative you want to push doesn't mean he was the difference maker. We will judge it at the end of the season by seeing the performances from these new signings and seeing how they perform for their team across the year. And that will determine whether they was important to their league title win or whatever.
I understand what you're saying. But this is where I disagree with that, because you can't argue against the facts. You're arguing against the facts. You know what I'm saying? You're saying, it could be this guy or it could be that guy. If Gyökeres comes into our team and we win the league, there's an argument to say he was the difference.
I did say that, but I said with the context. You're trying to do it with no context. You're just trying to say, oh, he's the difference maker because we signed him. Well, no, not necessarily. You signed 7 other players. They could be the difference makers too. You could, someone might sit there and say Zubimendi was the difference maker.
So how do you prove? So
how do you prove it? The performances. We can all judge performances across the season.
I said to you a minute ago. Yeah, I said to you, if Gyökeres comes in, or if Wirtz scores the goal in the Champions League final, he's justified his price tag. You said no, he doesn't.
So he doesn't.
Just 1 minute, if he scores. Well, so 1 minute, if he scores in the final of the league, on the Champions League, and it doesn't justify it, if he has a season and they win it again, he's not the reason. So what does he have to do? He has to be the best player.
But D, this is your problem. You're making narratives without any context. Just saying that he scores a goal in a final means you justify your price tag.
It does. It does.
No, that it doesn't. It doesn't. You're just
does.
No, but it doesn't. Because you just, when I asked you about Havertz and Chelsea, you said, well,
you didn't ask me about Havertz and Chelsea.
I did. I just said when they spent 60 million on Havertz and he scored the cup winning final, the
You
Champions
must have asked
League.
Hooks. You must have asked Hooks.
I asked you. You were just here. It was just me and you a second ago.
Yeah,
Clearly,
if
you don't listen. That's your problem. You don't listen, D.
Bro, I didn't talk. I haven't spoken about Havertz.
You did. I just said, yeah, you did. You mentioned the Havertz, and I said when Havertz signed for Chelsea, I said when he scored his cup winning final goal,
yeah, he justified his price tag. Yeah,
you didn't.
Of course he did.
You're just like, oh, no, but he did. That didn't.
He did.
He didn't. I don't see it like that. I don't see it like that.
But if he scores in the Champions League final, the winning goal against Man City in the Champions League final, he's justified his 60 million price tag.
I don't know. For me, I don't. What
do you want him to do? You want him to not score? What do you want him to do?
I want him to perform. I want players to perform. I don't want. Oh, you scored a goal with no context. Yeah, you scored a goal in a final.
The Champions League final. He's justified his price tag.
But you're making it trying to seem like it's black and white though. You don't justify your price tag with one goal.
No, it's not one goal. It's the time. It's what goal it is. It's not one goal. If he scored,
it's one goal. But again, you're adding all of the other stuff to it. It is one goal. That is the facts of it. You're just saying his price tag is made up of one goal.
So did he not justify his price tag?
But he performs shit all season, but scores that cup-winning final goal. He still justifies his price tag.
So did he not justify?
Let's talk about Origi. Origi's goal against Tottenham in the final. Because he scored a final goal, does that justify like anything? All his bad performances he's done for Liverpool?
No, you can't say bad performance. You got to do money. You got to do monetary value. You can't say his bad performances. I'm saying Havertz, his monetary value was 60 odd million. He was a flop until he wasn't. So if he scores in the final,
if Gyökeres flops all season but scores in a final to lead you,
he justified his price tag. That's the whole point.
He flopped all season.
That's the whole point. If he scores in the final and wins the trophy, the whole point is you've justified your price tag. That's what your point is.
You signed him. You didn't sign him just to score in a final.
We didn't sign him to score 30 goals and win no trophy.
But you signed him to score 30 goals, and you would hope that those 30 goals lead you to a trophy. And let's have it right. Like, we're not going to just act stupid now, D. If you score 30 goals in a season, it's very likely you're scoring a lot of winning goals. You're scoring a lot of important goals because 30 goals is a lot. It's a lot of goals. So if you're scoring a lot of game-winning goals, then you're quite literally justifying your price tag.
That don't make sense. If you score 30 goals in a season and we don't win the league, then that means
you're still justifying his price tag.
Let me finish what I'm saying. If we sign him for 60 million and Gyökeres scores 30 goals, but he doesn't win the league, then he's not the final piece of the puzzle. If he scores,
you're making 20
goals. Well, if he scores 20 goals and we win the league,
wait, why did you say final piece of the puzzle? I never once mentioned that. You never once.
No, I'm giving you an example. I'm giving you an example. I'm saying if we sign one player this season, one player, and it was Gyökeres, so we only signed one player in this Gyökeres, and he scores. Let's imagine a team only signs one player, and it was Arsenal. And it was Gyökeres, and we're looking for that final piece to get over the line. If he scores 40 goals in a season, and we don't win the league. He was not the missing piece of the puzzle. If he scores 15,
him being the missing piece of the puzzle and him justifying it, because you're making a completely different argument, bro.
I'm not making a different argument. The point I'm making is how can you not justify your price tag if you scored a winning goal in the final? That's the whole point, no?
No, but you just said, about missing piece of the puzzle. Him being a missing piece of the puzzle is completely different to him justifying his price tag. They're two different arguments. No, but again, see, you're making a whole different argument, and you're conflating two things to be the same because you're in your Arsenal head too much. Take off your Arsenal hat and stop thinking about Gyökeres being the final piece. We're not talking about him being the final piece.
I was giving you an example.
No, you're giving me an example. Yes, you're saying one player. But what I'm trying to explain to you is that because whether he's the final piece or not, whether it was the one signing, that doesn't matter. If a player was signed for, let's say, 60, 70 million, they had a price tag. To justify that price tag, what do you want them to do? You can either win a trophy and lead the team to somewhere like that, or you'd perform. For me, I'd be like, you need to perform across a certain amount of games or score a certain amount of goals to justify your price tag, for a striker.
Why?
For a striker, you'd expect them to score a certain amount of goals.
That's what you want.
That's what I would expect to justify your price tag. It's not what I want. That's what I expect.
Until you score in the final, in the winning cup final, then you've justified your price tag. No. What's the point? How can you not justify your price tag when you score the winning goal in the final and get the trophy?
Again, because I'm saying
that score 30 goals and no trophy.
But I'd rather make sure he's consistent. Just scoring one. If he scored no goals, but he scored a one goal in the final. Well, what is that all we're going to rely on next season? When we go into the next season, is this the striker that I'm going to rely on?
I'm going to give you an example.
No more examples. I'm asking a question. If the guy scores the one goal in the final and you go into next season, are you keeping that striker? Is that what you're doing? You're
Bro,
going.
that's why Drogba was regarded as the best because he was a big game player. That's why. Watch him.
We
Drogba
know how I feel about Drogba. You know how I feel about Drogba. That's a whole different argument.
I'm saying to you, people compare Drogba because he was a big game player and he scored in finals.
Again, I don't rate Drogba.
You made
an argument
the other day. You made an argument the other day saying Drogba was more important than Henry. Did you not?
No, I didn't.
You said Henry didn't score in finals. Oh no, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. Sorry, it was.
See, this is what I mean. This is he does this time and time again. He's putting words in my mouth.
No, it wasn't you.
You just tried to get hype and making a point that I didn't even
say. Confused.
I'm confused with other people. I don't rate Drogba. I don't rate Drogba.
I'm saying because you don't rate Drogba is crazy. Doesn't make sense.
He scored in finals. He was clutch. He wasn't world clutch. Like being a clutch player.
You paid for clutch. That's what you pay for.
No, but again. If you think a clutch player makes them a great player, I don't think a clutch player is a great player. Just because you're clutch doesn't make you great. It just means you're clutch.
Yes, it does.
That's
yes,
what it means.
does. That's
what it doesn't. It just means you're clutch.
Bro,
it means you have a clutch trait.
Bro, the clutch trait is what makes you great, bro. That's the whole point. What do you mean?
Because again, if you're just clutch, but don't perform across the season, then what are you then?
I don't need you to perform across the season if you're going to do it in the final. What do you think is going to happen?
How are you going to get to the final? That means you need to have a good team enough to get you to the final. You're not going to get to the final.
Chelsea got to the final, though, didn't they? Chelsea got to the final.
They had a team full of superstars. And Drogba wasn't the best player. That's the point.
But Havertz scored the winning goal in the final. He justified his price tag, bro. That's how it works. How can you not justify your price tag?
Is Brennan Johnson a great? Because he's clutch.
Would you rather Brennan Johnson play or older player?
Because he's clutch.
Would you rather play Brennan Johnson?
He's clutch. I'm asking you.
Listen, it's not about being great. I'm saying Brennan Johnson has justified his price tag if he scores a winning final goal. His
price tag was justified anyway. He scored 16 goals last season.
What's his price tag now? What's his price tag now?
It was 45 mil when we signed him.
Right. And do you think
he scored about 25 goals, nearly 30 goals in a Spurs shirt?
Do you think they think it was too heavy though?
At the point of when we signed him, people thought it was a heavy price tag. Then since we signed him, he's now gone on to have 2 seasons where he had 10 GA, then he had 20 GA the next season. So quite literally, he's improved in the seasons that we signed him. He's been a good signing because, like I said, he's performed in scoring goals, yeah. And then on top of that, he scored a cup-winning final goal. So of course, he's justified his price tag. Yeah, but even still, then, even without scoring just a cup final goal, when you say would I start Odegaard, every other game, people in my chat, you asked them, I say I'd start Odegaard on the left. I'm asking, start Odegaard on the left. Start Odegaard.
Okay, cool. So if it gets to the final, who would you play, Odegaard or Johnson?
Again, I'll play Johnson.
Exactly.
That's not because Johnson's a better player. That's because
he will score the goal. That's why.
That doesn't make him better.
That's what you pay for. That's what you pay for, bro.
You're making a completely irrelevant argument.
I'm not making a completely.
You're trying to make the point seem like one goal justifies a price tag, and I'm saying it doesn't.
It does. A winning goal. No, a winning goal.
We're on 2 different sides of the argument because I don't know how you can think that. And again, you're sitting there and saying, because you're the same guy that says Gyökeres just needs to score a winning goal, but then you also said the expectation is he has to score 20 goals. I saw this guy score 100 goals in the last couple of years. He has to score 20. So if he has to score 20, and the expectation is he scores 20, but if he doesn't do that, but he scores a cup-winning final goal, he's justified.
Which one do you think I'll take more? Which one do you think I'll take more? The cup-winning final goal or the 20 goals? Which one do you think I'll take more? You're desperate. You're starving. You need the cup-winning final goal. That's my question.
You need that. You need that cup-winning final goal. But let's have it right. You're proven wrong if that's the fact, because you said that he has to score 20. So what? I said he has to score 20. So where does that put him in your mind? Because if he's fallen below your expectations, I need to understand where that sits with you. If he falls below my expectation has dropped until he scores a final win, a goal. Then he's gone up again. What do you mean? If Wirtz scores in the Cup Winners' final, he's justified his price tag. If he wins the Champions League, what are you talking about? Would you buy 160 million? You're talking about Champions League. If he scores in a goal in a Carabao Cup final, what, Gyökeres justified his price tag? What, gets us a trophy? Well, obviously. He gets you a Carabao Cup goal, but he scores 12 goals this season. Yes, he's got a trophy for the club. What do you want him to do? Not win the. You said a major trophy wasn't good enough this season. When Lee Gunner was sitting there on Arsenal roundabout and that, when Lee Gunner was saying, "No, we need any trophy is a trophy is a trophy." We just need to win a trophy. And then you guys go, nah, we need a major
I don't know
trophy.
who you guys are. That wasn't me. Don't put words in my mouth like you just said to me. Don't put words in my mouth.
You were sitting there saying you need a major trophy. How many times you said that you need to win a major trophy this
Carabao
season?
Cup is a major trophy, you fool.
What? You were sitting there telling me the Carabao Cup was 4th best trophy when we done the trophy ranking.
It doesn't make it not major though, does it? It's still a major trophy.
Not every trophy is a major trophy. How can every trophy be a major trophy?
What is a Carabao Cup and FA Cup not a major trophy? What are you talking about?
Wait. When we went through this before, you tried to say that. So the Carabao Cup's now a major trophy. Is that what you're trying to say,
bro? You're having two different arguments here.
No, because you go back and forth and make things up constantly.
No,
Since when was the Carabao Cup a major trophy?
So the Europa League's not a major trophy, then is it?
The Europa League, you have to qualify. You're crazy. You win the FA Cup to get into the Europa League. You're telling me about the Carabao Cup.
Are you being thick on purpose, or are you actually being
serious?
No,
are you being thick? A Carabao Cup is literally not a major honor. It's literally not a major honor.
So is a Europa League a major honor?
Wait. If search it on Google and see if it's a major honor. Please tell me.
Is a Europa League a major honor? Is a Europa League a major honor? All right. Is the FA Cup a major honor? Is the FA Cup a major honor?
FA Cup.
So you know what? Let me tell you what's so funny about this. Let me tell you what's so funny about this year. Yeah. The funny thing about this year is the Conference League. Yeah. That's not classed as a major cup. You know? Did you know that?
No, it's not.
What do you mean it's not? On the Sky Sports the other day, they said Enzo Maresco has won 2 majors since he's been at Chelsea. They said the Europa Conference League and the Club World Cup are 2 majors. What are you talking about?
What are we doing here? Just because Sky Sports have said
so what are you on about? So what are you
Sky Sports run narratives. We know this. They're just like any other platform, just like us. They're content creators.
The point I'm making is the Conference League is classed as a major. So I don't understand your point you're making.
It's not, but okay, no. But the Carabao Cup has never been classed as a major. It literally has never been classed.
And to me, the Conference Cup's not a major. So what difference does it make?
We agree.
Fine, so let's forget that point. The point I'm making is if you score a goal in a cup final and win me a trophy, you've justified your. And I've said Champions League. I don't know why you keep changing it to other trophies. You do it to Carabao Cup.
You said Champions League because I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand if it's the same narrative for all trophies.
If Jokovic scores the winning goal in any of these FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League, or Champions League, the ones that we talk about, and he scores it, then that means he's justified his price tag.
See, that's where we differ. That's where we differ heavily. That's where we differ heavily because I would say one, it depends on the trophy. No, you're saying you don't understand why, but you don't understand why.
The new age analysis. The new age analysis.
No, it's not new age. Just because you just don't listen. You choose not to listen, D.
Oh, Frank Lampard.
I told you why. I told you that for one, you've told me as well before. There's levels to trophies. You've said that to me. We had a whole show about it. There is levels to trophies. So with there being levels to trophies, there's level to an expectation that when a player does come in, that the trophy he's supposed to lead you to is one of the top trophies, not just any other trophy. You guys could have won a Carabao Cup without Gyökeres. It only wasn't done because you weren't serious.
We don't know that because we've not done it, so we don't know that. You're just saying that from your premise. We don't know if we could have.
Well, it is a fact. We could have.
It's not a fact that we could have won it without. We haven't done it. We haven't won a Carabao Cup since 1993. We don't know that. We haven't done it.
All right, you don't know how to win Carabao Cups. That's something we've clarified.
You can't say we could have won one.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm wrong. Arsenal don't know how to win Carabao Cups. That's what he just said.
Say we could have won one without Gyökeres if we've never done it.
Okay, so I'm agreeing with you. You don't know how to win FA Cups.
You can't say it's a fact.
All right, so you don't know how to win Carabao Cups. That's what you're saying.
But we've not won a Carabao Cup since 1993. You can't say we could have won one without. We could have won one without Gyökeres. How do we know that? You're just saying what you think.
32 years. Remember that one? That's 32 years, people. Yeah.
Bro, you don't understand. You can't say we could have won one without Gyökeres if we.
All right, this is what you feel. All right, but then everyone. The thing is, you're just doing that because again, you're just doing argument for argument's sake. But we couldn't. We know you could have. We know you could have won one.
We don't know we could have.
You finished second in the league, so you're the second best team in the league. The second best team in the league hasn't always won the Carabao Cup. So, i.e., you could have won the Carabao Cup. You just didn't win the game against Newcastle.
How have you decided that? How have you decided?
I've just told you how I decided that. Clearly,
because we finished second in the league, that means we could have won a cup.
It means you're the second best team in the league. It means second best team in England. That's what you've told me.
So that means we could have won a Premier League. Could we have won a Premier League as well then? Could we have won a Premier League as well then?
Well, no, because you've always been second best. You've never been the first best.
So Liverpool not in the Carabao Cup then?
Well, Liverpool didn't win it. They lost to.
Are they in the Carabao Cup though? Are they in the Carabao Cup?
But they lost to Newcastle. They haven't always come second.
You're proving my point.
They lost to Newcastle, meaning anybody could win the trophy. It isn't the best team that always win it.
Oh, you're saying it's a fact that we could have won it without Gyökeres, and I'm trying to explain to you it's not a fact because we didn't win it. You can't say something's a fact if it's not happened before.
You could have won it though.
It's based on what?
I've just said what it was based on. You're choosing not.
And I'm trying to explain
no,
to you.
You can't keep doing it. Stop saying based on what. If you're not listening, I'll tell you what it's based on, and then you say based on what. How am I supposed to tell you?
Bro, because what I'm trying to explain to you is you're going off the premise that's in your mind. Oh, Arsenal could have won it because they were good enough to win it. Being good enough to win it doesn't mean it's a fact that. Well, what point you said we're the second best team in the league?
Second best team in the league. So it wasn't based off my mind. I said so. Look, I'll base it out for you. You could have won the trophy because across the season you proved that you were second best team in the league. You were good enough to compete with the best, but just wasn't good enough to get the job done against Liverpool because they were just better than you. But you're better than everyone else, proven wise. You proved by
in the league, in the league,
better than everyone else. So overall, when you look at the English league, you'll say, who's the second best team? Arsenal. Oh, who won their Carabao Cup? Newcastle. Where did they finish? 5th. Where did Crystal Palace finish? FA Cup winners. 12th, 13th. Oh, so that means Arsenal could have won these trophies. Not saying that they decided not to, but they could have because these other teams worse than them won the trophies.
That's a stupid argument, bro.
And do you know why that's not stupid? Because you've made this exact argument a few months ago. Because you went ahead to say that you was annoyed at the fact that Crystal Palace said what you liked Crystal Palace winning the trophy. But you was annoyed because it proved to you to show that Arsenal could have won the trophy. That's what you said. You said it proved to you that other teams can also win these trophies. There's no excuse. This is what you said.
No, you're making two different points again. Saying that Me saying that there's no excuse is because other teams have done it. But you're saying
so you feel like you could have done it.
You have to understand. You have to let me finish for you to understand my point. I'm saying me saying that Crystal Palace have won it and Tottenham have won it and that makes me feel like we should be winning the trophy. But you're saying it's a fact that Arsenal could have done it. It can't be a fact if it's not. We haven't done it.
You're just holding on to the fact, but it's still a fact that you just don't like the word. You don't like the word, but again, it's a fact that you could have won it. It is. You could have won it. You decided. Again, Arsenal wasn't good enough to get the job done. We can agree on that. You wasn't good enough to get the job done, but you could have.
The point I'm making is because I don't really understand what I'm saying and where it's hard for you to understand. I don't really get it.
I don't understand why it's hard for you.
Sometimes I don't actually understand what point you're making. I
never understand what point you're making. You just argue for the sake of it.
I'm not arguing with you. You're making a point that doesn't make sense. You're making a point that don't make sense.
No, your point don't make sense. Definitely don't make sense.
No, my point makes sense. What you like to do, you like to go on hypotheticals. I go on absolutes. That's the difference between me and you. Absolute. I do absolute.
What's your absolute in this argument?
I'm going to tell you, my absolute is Arsenal have not won a trophy. So far, we're not good enough to win one. It's as simple as that. You can't keep saying, oh yeah, Arsenal are good enough to win trophies. Arsenal are good enough to win trophies, but we don't win it. We don't win it. We don't win it. We don't win it. That's not an absolute. You can't say it's a fact. It's not
Carabao Cup, not trophy.
We're a good enough team. We're a good enough team. We're a good team, but we can't say we don't win the trophy. That means we're good enough to win it. You can't say that because it's not on paper, bro.
Okay.
So I don't understand what you're saying.
So again, I didn't say trophies. I said Carabao Cup for one, just to clarify. And two, okay, we'll take your logic. Arsenal aren't good enough to win trophies, so I don't want to hear you say that you expect to win trophy this season.
Jules, what are you talking about, bro?
You just said Arsenal weren't good enough to win trophies. That's literally what's come out of your mouth.
We're talking about in the past.
Well, but it's in the current because last season is still
in the current now. The current is now. The past is back then.
So up until now, you've not been good enough to win a trophy with this manager, right? In the last 5 years,
because we haven't won it. So obviously,
okay. So that's up until now. So that's still in the present because he's not done it up until now.
No, but
he's not done it right now.
Last season, bro.
All right, but last season we're still going into right now. Right now, is your team won a trophy?
What do you mean right now? Today?
This season, have they won a trophy?
There's been no trophy. We're in the trophies.
Okay, you're saying there has been no trophies. There has because we played in one 2 weeks ago. You just don't qualify for it. Let's clarify something. Wait, let's just clarify something. Yeah, let's clarify something. And also there was the Community Shield. You usually celebrate that one, but hey, it's fine. You know, not a trophy. Are Arsenal? You're saying right now? Do you have an expectation for Arsenal to win a trophy?
Yes.
How? Because you don't feel like they're good enough. The team's proven.
I said in the past, like, bro, you're not understanding. In the present and in the future is two different things. So if I'm talking to you about what's gone on in the past 5 years, I can say to you, well, evidently, on paper, factually, we weren't good enough to win trophies. I can say that because of what's on the paper.
Yeah.
That's what I can say. Right now, I can say, hopefully, this team is good enough in the future to win trophies. It's not rocket science, what I'm saying.
Okay.
You can't say
so again, it's
team,
hopefully in the future. Hopefully in the future. This is what you're doing. But I'm judging off what we're seeing.
It's not
right
hard
now.
to understand. I don't know what
I'm not saying it's hard to
what
understand, but you're talking about hopefully in the future. I want this team to be good enough. But I'm telling you off the base. So the same argument you use, I can use and go based off the past. I can use the past to predict the future. That's what I can do. Because quite literally, when you do science, you do experiments, you gotta use something to calculate where you're gonna go forward. Yeah, when you want to predict what's gonna happen forward, you use the past. I'm using the past of Arsenal, of Arteta, of this team to say that your expectation makes no sense because the last 5 years you've expected to win something, you haven't won something, so you've been proven to the fact of your point that you're not good enough to win stuff. Why should you think that you're good enough to win stuff this year? You're gonna tell me we've signed these players, you sign players every year. So again, we can both make the overall argument, and it's still going to sit on the same. It's still going to sit on the same way. You know, you signed players, but you still didn't win trophies when you signed Declan Rice. We was told Declan Rice was going to be the difference maker. He wasn't. Now we're being told it's
right. So evidently,
now
so that point you made there. So that point you made there, that Declan Rice, we thought this is exactly the point I'm trying to explain to you. When Declan Rice came, we all assumed that he would be the final piece of the puzzle. When it proved for the last 2 years that it wasn't the final piece of the puzzle, we realized it wasn't the final piece of the puzzle. So we're now moving the goalposts and trying to find a new piece of the puzzle. That's exactly the point I'm making. So at the time, you think this is the piece that fits and it's going to make the difference. In the future, when we get to where we are now, we realized it wasn't the piece that fit. What's so hard to understand about that? So my mindset is going to change from now.
You're not listening because I never said I didn't understand that.
Finish what I'm saying. You can't listen and hear at the same time. You can't listen.
But then the point is, I do listen. You just repeat stuff that I've literally told you.
Repeated stuff. You're not understanding.
You're telling me that I didn't understand when I did understand that because I explained that. I explained that we understood that using the past, we know that he's no longer the final piece of the puzzle.
Bruv, you don't understand because you don't understand, bro. You don't understand. That's the thing about you. You don't understand.
Do you know it is, people? You see, D don't like when I play him at his own game and we do the arguing thing and I can keep going. I'll keep going.
No, but you're arguing for no reason.
When he's on these other shows and he's trying to get man into a tussle and he's twisted up. And then now I'm getting him into a tussle because he don't even know what he's arguing about now. He don't even know what he's arguing about. This is the point.
What do you mean, bro?
I've got you in your own rope. I've got you in your own net.
You're arguing for the sake of arguing. What you think at the time and what you think later down is two different things. At one point, I might feel like, you know what? Yeah, we're ready for the title. This is the point. This is what I need. I've got everything I needed. Like Arteta. Arteta thought Havertz was the missing piece, and he thought Havertz, yeah, this is the way to go. Evidently, we realized that's not the way to go. We've realized that. So we found out that it wasn't the missing piece. So now later down, we can say, you know what? That wasn't actually what it was. What you think at the time is going to be different to what you think later down.
Hindsight, yes. Hindsight prevails.
So what's confusing about what I'm saying?
I'm not saying none of it's confusing. You make it seem confusing because you don't understand what I'm saying. I've told you and I've said consistent. Why'd you look away? So you can't understand when you're not like you're getting all fed up because I said that I understand what you're saying. And
you don't understand what I'm saying. Otherwise, you wouldn't be debating.
You can't tell me if I understand or not. If I've told you I understand, how do you know whether I understand or not?
Because
I don't agree with you.
What are you debating?
Wait. What I don't get is wait. You're telling me I don't understand, but it's because I don't agree with you. So I have to.
What are you debating? What are you debating?
No, but do I have to agree with you? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think everyone would agree with that.
No. So that's your problem, D. That is your problem, quite literally. Here is you think that everybody has to agree with you. I don't agree.
Everyone has to agree with me on every point, but this point I'm making is not subjective.
But you can't say
what I'm making is not subjective. It's not a subjective point.
Because what I say is I've always maintained, and you would know because again I've done this. A gal would tell you. I've said a gal used to do the thing that you do every year. He used to tell me every year, well, we're only going to see at the end of the season when I'm proven right because we've got these new signings and it's a change. We've changed the way. We find a new way and we can only see once we figure this out. Once we see Gyökeres play a full season, then we'll see if he's the final piece of the puzzle. That's what you're saying. Yeah. Until he plays a season, we won't know.
Obviously, if we win a trophy, we can only find out at the end of the season.
I get that. But what I'm saying is continuously under this manager, I've been proven right that your team isn't good enough to get the job done. So until you prove me wrong that he isn't the final piece, You have to prove. Arsenal need to prove me wrong. That's what I'm saying, and I've been saying this for years. I need to be proven wrong that Arsenal can get the job.
That wasn't the point we're talking about. You've gone from different points. You're making 2-3 different points. You're talking about a gal and all this type of stuff. I'm
simply talking about the expectation against that. You're talking about the future and the past are two different things.
It is two different things.
And I understand that, but you can use the past to predict the future, and using the past to predict the future every time for Arsenal is me saying that he's not the final piece of the puzzle. You're not going to win it with him. You're not.
So why are you saying? So why did you say then? So why did you say? Because this is the point I'm making. You said to me that, oh yeah, you could have won a Carabao Cup. That's what you said. And my point I'm making to you is, you can't say we could have won a Carabao Cup. You think we could have. It's two different things. You can't say, that's like saying, oh, we could have won a Champions League. Why stop at Carabao Cup?
Well, you could have. You got in a semi-final. You're
exactly.
You also wasn't good enough because you couldn't beat PSG. Simple.
But I don't understand you. I don't understand you. I actually don't understand you. I actually don't understand you, bro. Liverpool are the best team in the league. Yeah. It's as simple as that. They're the best team in the league. They could have. This is what people do. A lot of the time online, this is what people do. They take away the reality of actually what happened. Liverpool on paper have won the league. They're the champions. Yeah. This is exactly what it is. Havertz is a £160 million signing that people want him to perform, and they want him to look spectacular and do a lot of silky skills and talk about eights and this and in the half spaces. That's what they like to do. If Havertz scores a winning goal at Man United, then a winning goal against Arsenal, then a winning goal against Chelsea, and then they end up winning the league, he's justified his price tag. This is as simple as that. That is what it's for.
That's not
the
a
price
fact.
tag.
That's your feeling.
It is a fact. That's a fact.
No, but then this is the thing. No, but D, this is your problem with the whole argument. Because when I say something's a fact, it's not a fact. But your fact is
your fact is on subjectivity. Mine's on paper. It's different. Mine is not subjective.
It's not fact to everyone.
Mine is not subjective. Mine is on paper, bro. Mine is about what's on paper. What was the end result? Yours is debatable. Mine isn't. You're saying Arsenal could have won a Carabao Cup when we haven't won it.
No, but I'm talking about you base a player's price tag off performances across the season. That's the whole point that we started.
That's what you do. That's what you and the new age people do. That's what you and the new age.
You don't base it off of just 1 or 2 goals. You base it off of
why do you think Frank Lampard was so highly rated? Why do you think he was so highly rated?
He scored consistently 19 to 20 goals every year. That's
why. He was a cup final merchant as well.
But he scored all across the season though.
So did Tim Cahill. No, he
didn't. Tim Cahill was me, bro. We're just doing madness.
Tim Cahill scored goals consistently.
All right, but he was outscored by Lampard every year. So what are we going to talk about?
That's the point I'm making. Lampard didn't have anything else apart from putting the ball in the back of the net and scoring in big games. That was what Frank Lampard did. That's why he's regarded as so good.
You're kind of mad. You've done a lot more, man.
Well, whatever. The point I'm making is you can't say a man hasn't justified his price tag when he wins the trophy, bro. That don't even make sense.
If he only scores like one, like say he only scores in a big game and then he wins a trophy in only the big game. Because again, I look at it like this then. Haaland's never scored in a trophy final, right? You do know that. Haaland's never scored in the final. Yeah. But he's consistently scoring across the season in the small. He bullies the small teams. He doesn't even turn up in a lot of the big games. He doesn't. He just bullies the small teams.
Yeah.
Has he justified his price tag?
Yeah, he has.
But he don't score in the big games. He don't score in the finals. So when they need him,
you're using the other side.
I'm doing the other side of the argument because I'm trying to understand.
It doesn't work.
I'm trying to understand how it could work for a player like Haaland, but it wouldn't work on the other side.
I'm going to explain to you. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm understanding that why you don't understand, because there's more than one way to justify your price tag. So
there is.
So Haaland can justify his price tag by scoring 30 goals. But you can also justify your price tag if you score a winning Champions League goal final. This is why your argument doesn't stack up.
I disagree them.
There's different ways.
I don't think scoring one. No, we just disagree. That's all it is. We just disagree on the point. Like it's as simple as that, D. Like it's not a fact. We just disagree. We have two different.
Do you know what? Big up AW, yeah, because this is what people say. And people say you play ball, wanted to become professional, played at a high level. It didn't work out like that. Does that mean it couldn't have happened? No, but it doesn't mean it could have either. That's the point I'm making. You can't say because you played at this level, but I could have made it. Or maybe you couldn't. A lot of people do that. Yeah, if I didn't have an injury, I would have made it. Maybe not. There's
Well, you
another
could
side.
have. No, but it's fair to say you could have, but you didn't. It's simple as that. You could have, but you didn't. Like,
I know, but
it's
the
as simple as
argument
that.
is more on the side of you couldn't have than you could have, isn't it? Because you didn't.
But let's be real. That's just
Most
semantics.
people don't end up making. No, it's not semantics though.
No, it is, because let's have it right. Could have, couldn't. The same thing is that it didn't happen. So
that's what we go on.
The way you use the words is, I'm saying I'm could have because I'm being more optimistic and I'm trying to make my chances seem better. If I say couldn't, it's because I realized that I knew I wasn't good enough, and I'm just saying I couldn't have made it.
I know,
but if somebody rates themselves, obviously they're going to say I could have. So my point here is just we're doing semantics of English.
We're not doing semantics. The semantics are make the statement completely different. Could and should and all these words are different words for a reason, bro. That's the whole point of it. If someone says they could have made it, it means you would have made it if it wasn't for this scenario. We don't know that because you didn't. So the chances are you probably wouldn't have made it. That's the point I'm making.
The chances are in it, but like,
yeah, but that's the point I'm making. You got to go with actually what happened, which gives you more of an understanding of the scenario.
Yeah, go with what happened. Yeah,
don't go with the 1%. You got to go with the 99%. Take your chances on the bigger piece of the pie. There's no point saying otherwise. You can say anything. Arsenal could have won the Champions League, and Tottenham could have won the FA Cup. And
well, I mean, do a lot of Arsenal fans sit there and say last season, but if we just got that point against Everton, if we just got that, we would have won the league. And people say these things. If I should have done this in this game, if I could have done this, then we would have been the difference maker. And
I know, but if
it's only minor differences, and it's only those small things that make the difference, then quite literally, like, you can't blame them for making that argument. Like, if people are saying, "Oh no, you got done wrong in this game, and it led to you man getting a red card," and
that's different, though. That's different. That's a different point. I just feel like you can justify your price tag in it, but we've been over it already. We don't have to keep going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I have to keep going back and forth. Not every day I'm trying to go back and forth with Jules.
Because I can actually tire him out. That's what it is. He realized I'm the one that actually gets. You're a fisherman in your own net. When we're arguing, you don't even know where you're arguing about half the time. You just started arguing.
Well, I know exactly. But let me tell you what the difference is. Yeah, difference is
saying earlier, he's trying to rattle people, trying to do the argument, and then
I'm not trying to rattle anyone. Let me tell you what it is. Yeah, people. What it is, yeah, I'll be, and this is the truth. This is not about to you or anything. Sometimes when you're talking to certain people, they're not actually clever enough to understand what you're saying, and this happens in life. Most people are not actually clever enough to understand the point I'm making. If somebody says could and should and have and not, these words mean different things. It changes your whole sentence, bruv. So most people can't actually understand what I'm saying because they're not intellectual enough to understand what I'm saying, bro. This is the fact of it. This is the truth of it, but people don't understand the English language. If you say I could have done that or you should have done that, it's two different words. It's two different sentences.
No, I like this because this is gonna come back to bite you. Watch, I'm gonna.
It's not gonna come back to bite.
Do you know why? There was a time when you quoted me and you misquoted me and you said no, but I can't quote you exactly. And it was all these little words, and I said, oh, what we're doing semantics now? It's semantics now. So what?
It's not semantics though.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying, because when you quote me wrong in your little videos and stuff, and it's like, oh, but you said this.
No, it depends if we're messing about or not. It depends what we're talking about.
All I'm saying is when I'm saying one word makes a big difference. Because remember when we were talking about, I don't know, it was like last week. Dean was on the show. It was on the last week when we were doing like big guy, and I was saying, and I was adding in these little things like the Europa League and the Champions League. When I said back to back and all these things, you're saying no, it don't even matter. You said this, and I was like, no, but these key words make a big difference. It makes the whole statement different. You're like, no.
It does, but also when you talk, what people don't understand is when you talk, yeah, and you say a statement, you're basically inferring another thing. You can say something that means something else. So that's that's what I'm making. So a lot of people, it's hard for me to understand this because when you're on a panel show and you're talking to people cut you off and they do, oh no, you're waffling. And I'm saying, bro, if you understood the English language, you would know there was no waffling. So it's clear what I'm saying, but people don't understand the English.
But if I infer something, but I don't say it directly, then that doesn't mean I said it.
But you're implying it though. You're implying it.
No, but implying doesn't mean anything.
Okay, let me give you an example. I'll give you an example. Yeah, what a lot of people do, and people do this a lot of the time. Yeah, not on streaming live. Yeah, they will tell you a statement, but technically they haven't lied, but they're not telling you the truth. This is what people do a lot of the time, and they will say, "Yeah, but I didn't." They'll say, "I didn't lie, though. You didn't lie, but you didn't tell me the truth." Now people will say that this happens all the time. You can
you're right. You are right, but let's have it right. If I'm actually making a statement where there is no truth or lie involved, then it's not you can't make an assumption of what I said. There is no truth or lie. I've just made that statement. That's my blank statement. So when I made that statement saying like 3 back-to-back Champions League, Europa Leagues is harder than 1 Champions League, then the back-to-back part is the key part of the statement. It doesn't mean that it's winning. It's hard. Like those little words can change.
I agree with that.
And even though it implies something else, it's just the statement is a statement all by itself.
I know, but the reason why your statement doesn't actually make sense in that scenario is because Unai Emery was in the Champions League. That's why. That's where it shuts your argument down. If you say winning a Europa League back to back or whatever it is harder than winning 1 Champions League, well then Unai Emery should have done the easier thing, then shouldn't he? He should have achieved the easier goal. That's where your argument doesn't stack up.
Again, you're saying should have, but he didn't. So and just because he didn't,
so it proves the point that it's harder to win 1 Champions League.
Because that again, just because he didn't do that doesn't mean it's harder. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't.
It does for him. It does for him. It does for him.
No, not necessarily, because some.
Yes, necessarily.
No, because that's just like when somebody scores like Cunha will score a harder chance and he scores an easier chance. Does that make the harder chances easier for him? Is that what that means?
Say that again. Say that again.
So let's just say. So let me base.
I didn't hear what you said.
So let's just say Cunha, for example, yeah, he'll miss the 10-yarder. He'll miss easy 1-1 goal, but he'll score the 25-yarder. Does that make the 25-yard? Because let's have it right. The 1-on-1's easier than the 25-yard shot, yeah, in theory. Just in theory, in general.
Yeah, in theory, yeah.
Cunha, because he scores the 25-yarders more than the 10-yarder, you're saying that the 25-yarders are easier shot for him, easier for him.
Not necessarily. You have to give me context. Not necessarily.
Okay, so that's my point with the thing. Because Unai Emery didn't win the Champions League, but he done this and he finds this easier than it is to do that, doesn't necessarily mean that doing this is easier than that is doing harder. It's just different.
But then your statement is not true then. You saying it's harder to do the back-to-back thing than it is to win 1 Champions League.
It's true to me, but it's not a factual statement. No, it's not a factual statement.
Yeah, so then so I don't know why you're reversing it on me when you're the one who made the statement.
No, because I never said it was a factual statement. I just said it was an opinion.
You said it's harder to win back-to-back.
Yeah, it was my opinion. It's not a factual statement. It's not a factual statement though.
So what's the point of making a statement then?
What? So every statement I make has to be a fact.
No, you said to win the Europa League back-to-back is harder than winning the Champions League. That's a statement.
Yeah, but it wasn't a fact. It's a statement. It's an opinion.
It wasn't a fact. That's your opinion.
It's a statement I made based on my opinion. Yeah. Wait. So what's the confusion? I'm confused. What are you confused with here?
I'm saying your argument is against yourself. It's not against me. You're saying that it's harder to win. It's harder to win back to back, and it's not. And he can't win 1 Champions League. Yeah, 1 Champions League.
So I'm basically saying it's hard. What's harder and what's easier depending on the person.
Yeah, but I'm saying the argument that you're making is against your own argument.
No, because I go on.
No, because you saying back to back is easier. It's harder to win that than it is to win 1 Champions League. Yeah, it means that's your opinion on the scenario. But then Unai Emery was in the Champions League, which means. It wasn't. It's not proven to be easier. That's the point I'm making. So you're
saying him being in the Champions League proves that. And I'm saying it doesn't. That's all I'm saying. Because in theory, do you know how we spoke about the Cunha chance? In theory, I think winning a trophy 3 times is harder than winning 1. In theory, but again, depending on who that manager is and depending on who the team they have, will depend on how easier winning the Champions League is or how easy the Europa League is winning or how harder. Like it depends on the factors of the players and everything. But the theory of just winning 3 trophies, winning a trophy.
It's harder to win 1 Champions League has been proven to be harder than winning the Europa League. I mean, over the course of time, because of the amount of people that have won it and the caliber of the managers that have won the Champions League. You got some of the greatest managers of all time have never won the Champions League. You know what I'm saying? So that's the evidence to prove that it's harder to win the Champions League.
There's also many great managers that never won a Europa League
because they're not in it.
But a lot of them have been in it.
If they were in it consistently,
Wenger's been in it. He's never won it.
If Wenger was in it for 20 years, he would have won it. No, I'm saying if he was in it for 20 years, he would have won it.
Why does he need to be in it 20 times? Ange was in it about
because he was in the Champions League for 15 or 16 years.
No, I get that, but again,
that's the point I'm making, and that shows how hard it was to win the Champions League.
Then what about the managers that go into the Europa League and win it on first time?
Bro, what are you saying? That's like saying
no. Because what I'm saying is, you're saying, "Oh, this guy hasn't been in it enough." Oh, Wenger,
They haven't.
he
You
was in
got-
it
you
20
haven't
years.
been.
I'm comparing to guys that have been in it the same amount of years of him and still won it. What does that mean?
Been in what the same amount of years?
If they're in the same amount of, if let's just say they've been in Europe, and we're just using Europa League for example, but let's just say he's a manager's won Europa League, but he's only been in it 4 or 5 times. He's only ever entered he's been a Champions League manager majority of his career, but when he did go Europa League, he got the job done in the 2, 3, 4 times that he went there. Same as Wenger, Champions League his whole career, but when he went Europa League, he just couldn't get the job done. He's been there like 2, 3 times.
But he didn't win the Champions League though, Wenger.
And I know, but I never compared him to a manager that has won the Champions League. I'm simply saying, what are you? You confused me because you don't even know what I'm saying.
I don't know what
because I'm trying to explain to you. You wouldn't know if you just understand. I'm just saying that you're saying he's never been in it, so he can't win it. But he has been in it. He's been in it about 3 times. If you compare him to other managers that have been in the competition the same amount of times as him, but has won the competition, then what are you saying? Like, what does that mean for him? Like, what's the excuse? Because there's certain people that have done the same amount of chances as him, but still got the job done. They're Champions League managers. They'd never won the Champions League, but they went Europa League. They got the job done. Why couldn't your manager, like that manager, for example, get the job done? What's the excuse?
Because it didn't happen. Maybe when he was in it, that he'd come up against a tricky team and stuff like that. I don't understand that. That argument is a moot point. You're saying you're basically saying because someone else done something, you should be able to do it. That's a moot point.
No, yeah, exactly.
That's a moot point. That's like because Usain Bolt can run 100 meters in 9 seconds. I should be able to.
No, that's not what I said. Now you're just
that is what you're saying. It's a moot point.
If someone's had the same amount of chances into the competition,
he hasn't. But I'm saying the same thing. You can apply that. I'm saying to an area that actually makes sense. So, for example, Arsene Wenger was in the Premier League for however long he was in the Premier League for, and people say 3 titles is not enough for a manager of his caliber and of his level. Now you can understand that. Now, when you apply context to it, to say he had financial restraints, he had to build a new stadium worth 600 million or $1 billion. He had all the issues, influx of cash for Chelsea. All of a sudden, the 3 titles become a lot more than They mean a lot more
to you. They come
everybody. To everybody.
No, I just heard excuses. I'll be real. I'm
trying to explain something to you, but you're not understanding. You're trying to.
I'm understanding. I just think they're excuses. The Wenger stuff is excuses.
Listen. They're not excuses. They're not excuses because when Wenger came over, he came from Japan. Nobody had a clue who he was. He came to England, and he was competing with the juggernaut that was Manchester United, which was Sir Alex Ferguson. Arsene Wenger came over. He changed the whole club. He turned the club. He won the league with players that nobody knew. This is what he did. He started bringing in players that no one had ever heard of before. What he did is one of the greatest achievements that you can come across. And then not only did he do that, he then does it undefeated. Okay. So
when you say great achievement, that was to an Arsenal fan,
right? But you're saying no, it's not to me. It's to the football world. Everybody knows.
That make your statements seem like facts. Stop making your statements seem like facts, D. Because you say something doesn't mean it's a fact, bro.
Bro, it's not. What I'm saying is a fact. I'm not saying. What do you mean it's not? He won 3 titles, but the 3 titles he
just
won.
Said his first title because he done it with players that were like nobody knew. He is one of the greatest achievements. It's not, but sure.
Bro, him winning bro, listen, him winning against the juggernaut that's Man United. Him winning with players that were unknown, with the financial constraints he had, fighting against everything, building a new stadium in that fight. As you can see how hard it is to compete with a new stadium. Arsene Wenger was the mastermind of that. This is all him. He felt like I need a new stadium to compete with Chelsea. Influx of cash. You can buy whoever you want. Arsene Wenger's still winning FA Cups and trophies and qualifying for the Champions League in that time. If he would have the money that
no, now you're just lying. After you built the stadium, you went 9 years. He actually went 8 years without winning the trophy after the stadium rebuild. So
that's not the point I'm making.
No, but it's not about the point that you're making, D. You always do this, and then you go, that's not the point I'm making. Now you're going left. You just thought you was making your point, and whilst you're making your point, you threw out a lie. So I clarified your lie.
I didn't throw a lie. I said to you, he was competing. He was still qualifying for the
Champions winning FA Cups. He wasn't winning FA Cups after that.
What I'm saying.
But he wasn't winning FA Cups during that point.
Bro, what? I know you want to argue. I understand you want to argue.
I don't want to argue. You're lying now. Stop putting out lies. He wasn't winning FA Cups during that period. During that period of rebuild, he didn't win an FA Cup.
Still qualifying for the top 4. He was still qualifying for the top 4. What I'm explaining to you is what he did back then. Yeah, if he had the same artillery that everyone has now, he would be dominating the league. That's the point I'm trying to explain to you. He will be doing what Pepper was doing for a time. He will be dominating the. I don't know what you're laughing about. That's the whole point of why people. Why do you think people wait Arsene Wenger as one of the great?
This
Arsenal. It's not what Arsenal fans say.
This is an Arsenal fan thing. It is. It is. You guys are in love with Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger's the best thing since this. I've heard all the stories. I've heard everything about it. I disagree with.
Why do you think? Why do you think he's regarded as one of the greats?
And you just made a point like it was a fact again. If he was in this era, he'd be doing what Pep Guardiola was. Well,
no, I'm saying that is what I'm trying to translate it to the new day and age.
Pep Guardiola did coach in his era during maybe not Arsene Wenger's pomp, but he did become a coach during Arsene Wenger's era and quickly become the best manager in world football. Whilst Arsene Wenger was still a manager, you do know that, right?
Well, I don't know what point.
Did Pep Guardiola not have 10 years as a manager before Wenger retired?
Are you arguing Pepper versus Arsene Wenger?
No. It's because you make statements.
Nothing to do with
because you make statement. Well, you did. You made a statement.
The point I'm making,
competing with Guardiola at this point of the year.
I'm saying Arteta is finishing second in our league, isn't he? Yeah, with what he had. The point I'm making to you is what he did back then. Yeah, is now looked upon over time because it takes time. What happened back then? Why do you think paintings and stuff get more valuable as they get older? Because you don't realize how incredible they were at the time. Now, years later, we understand how incredible it was that what Wenger done, because he basically won leagues on a shoestring with no money. We're now understanding how incredible what he did was. But you're there saying this is what Arsenal fans say. And I'm trying to explain to you, it's not what Arsenal fans say. It's what the football world say, because we understand how brilliant he actually was. But you don't seem to understand that for some random reason. I don't get it.
No, because I think he's good, but you're over-exaggerating him. So a lot of the words you're using are way like, that he would have been he would be winning leagues right now. He'd be one of the best managers like Pep right now. I don't like the way that you're painting it to be. You're making it seem way better than it is. You literally went there and said, whilst we were rebuilding, he was winning trophies, and then when he wasn't. He factually wasn't. Between 2005 and 2014, or 2000 up to 2014, you didn't win anything. So, like, factually, that wasn't the truth. So
now you're doing semantics. This is what
no. I was just clarifying things that you said, but you didn't like.
You're not clarifying anything though. You're nitpicking at little things.
I'm nitpicking at things that you said because they're wrong.
Bro, so what do you think Wenger would be doing if he had the same financial?
I don't know.
No, but what do you think he would be doing? Listen to the question.
No, I get the question. You're asking me what I think, and quite literally. Again, you don't like when I've done hypotheticals earlier. You're like, why are you doing hypotheticals?
I'm asking you, what do you think Wenger would be doing if he was in this day and age with the money that Arteta has? What do you think he would be doing?
Well, I don't know. Again, like, we'd have to
see
it.
I don't know.
I've got to see it in the flesh. I'd walk at what? You want me to say hypothetical?
Why did you say? So why did 10 minutes ago did you say? Why did you say 10 minutes ago that Arsenal could have won a Carabao Cup then? Now all of a sudden you know that, but you can't.
Again, now you're going to go off the assumption. I think Wenger's one of the best managers ever and stuff, and that Arsene Wenger lifts the floor of this team so much. I think Arteta's a good coach. I don't think Wenger's going to come in and take the coaching from here to like all the way up there, because I don't think there's that much gap with the team. I don't think you guys need way more coaching to make these players better. They're already coached really good.
I'm giving a scenario. Forget the transition.
So the hypothetical, what would Wenger be doing? He'd still be losing to Pep Guardiola. That's what I think. That's what I think. You want my honest opinion? I think Pep Guardiola would still be dominating the Premier League.
How about Sir Alex Ferguson then?
Sir Alex Ferguson would dominate.
Sir Alex Ferguson would dominate Pep Guardiola,
even
though he lost to him.
When I say dominate,
even though he lost to him countless times.
All right, so when I say dominate, again, I'll take it back one step. I think that he would have a very good challenge.
Why are you taking it back one step? You said it.
Because I've chosen to.
Because you realize what you said was foolish.
If I make a statement, I'm allowed to retract.
Because you realize what you said was foolish.
If I make my own statement, I'm allowed to retract my own statement. Whether you like it or not.
Are you retracting it?
Whether you like it or not, I am allowed to do that. I am allowed to that. It's my words.
You realize what you said was foolish.
It is my words. It is my words. Am I allowed? No, am I allowed to retract my own statement?
You can do, but think before you talk. I'd rather you think.
Well, no, I tried to think before I talk. When I said that, I'm not too sure. You didn't like that, so you're rushing for an answer. So I'm giving you an answer.
I'm not rushing for an
answer.
And
then you're telling me to think. But you are, because you're asking. You said, Wenger.
Right.
So Ferguson then.
Right, cool,
and then you're jumping in.
Right.
So,
So when you said,
I think Ferguson would have a good battle.
right. So when you said, okay, Ferguson would be competing and would be dominating, or not, maybe not dominating because you retracted it, but it'd be competing and he'd be up there, right? So this is the point I'm making to you. Ferguson was doing that. You see, when Arsene Wenger came in, that was already Ferguson's era, and Arsene Wenger, competed with Ferguson in those times. Do you understand? So what makes you think he wouldn't compete with Ferguson with money?
I never said he wouldn't compete with Fergie. We were said
You did. You said he wouldn't make no difference. What do you mean?
Wait. The question you asked me wasn't would Pep and would Alex Ferguson and Wenger be competing together in this day and age. You asked me would Wenger compete? How would he do against Pep? And I told you I think Pep, or how would he do in this day and age? Sorry, and I said Pep would still be dominating. Then you asked me how would I said Pep would still be dominating if Arsene Wenger was in this day and age. That's exactly what I said. Yeah. And then you said Sir Alex Ferguson. I said, he'd be dominating. Then I said, no, retract the statement. I think he'd be competing a lot better than Wenger would in this day and age with Pep. And I don't think he would dominate Pep. And I don't think it would be a one-way. I think it would be back and forth, sort of how Klopp and Pep did. But I think he'd do better than Klopp did. So I think it'd be back and forth. Like I think, for me, again, the way I rank the managers, I think Wenger's highly rated, but I've got Wenger maybe 5th in the Premier League all-time list, like
5th in the Premier League.
Fifth. I've got Mourinho ahead of him. I've got Mourinho, Pep, and Fergie ahead of him. So 4th. Sorry, I got him 4th.
Do your order. Do your order.
I got Fergie, Pep, Mourinho, Wenger.
Fergie, Pep, Mourinho, Wenger. Yeah, that's not bad. I can understand why you would have that. So
that's what I mean. So in your eyes, you probably have, I don't know, but I'm guessing Wenger's top 2.
No, it's not. Pep's 1, Fergie 2, and then Wenger 3.
Okay, so you rate Wenger higher than I do. Naturally, it's only 1, but that's my point. I don't rate Wenger as high as you. I don't. And you have to remember, dude, this is what you keep going off of. You might have saw Wenger when he come in from the Japan league. I didn't see that, so I don't care about what
I know you didn't. That's when I'm educating, you should listen.
No, but you don't know. You're too young. I'm talking of my opinion. My opinions of what I've seen.
No, you don't have enough information to have an opinion on it.
But I do, because I'm talking
about it's like me arguing about.
No, because I'm talking about the Wenger that I saw. I never once said Wenger was shit in that era.
No,
I never rated Wenger.
The Wenger that you saw was not the Wenger that got the ratings. That's not him.
Okay. So let me just
about the Wenger that you saw.
It's a good question. It's a good question, and it's a good point. I never once said that it was. But yes, Gunnar K is right. 66 likes is crazy. We're in nearly an hour and a half.
It's foolishness.
Foolishness. What? All right. So what Wenger? Like, talk to me about. There must have been errors of Wenger. Then is what you're saying. There was like periods of when was the best period of Wenger? The start until when? Like, what year did it end?
There was two. There's two different. You got the 98 team, and you got the 2002 team.
No, but there must have been an error between, like, you can't just say 98 team. There must have been like 98 to 2000.
He won the double in the 98. He won the double in the 98. 2002, we went invincibles, bro. In 2002,
so you think between 98 and 2003 was his best years?
Of course.
No, but you're saying, of course. I'm asking a question. I'm asking you the question to get your answer.
The team. We've got 2 teams that people are not sure which team is one of the potentially the greatest in football. Our teams are based on. So we've got the greatest potentially ever Premier League player ever. Okay. This is what Wenger created. That Wenger's created history. He's got the greatest ever player in the Premier League ever, and probably one of the greatest midfielders of all time in Patrick Vieira. He created both of them.
He didn't create Vieira. This is the thing. I'm old enough to know he didn't create Vieira. Vieira came to you guys after, like, he's a bit older.
I know, obviously, Vieira was already playing, but I'm saying
he was already established. You can't say he created him. He elevated him.
That's like saying De Bruyne was established before
elevated. Pep. He was established before Pep, though.
All right, fine. Anyway, that's like saying Salah was already established before Liverpool.
He was bagging 20 goals in Serie A every year. He was established.
Salah was made at Liverpool, bro.
He was established before then, though. You can't say it's not fair to say Klopp created him. Klopp didn't create Salah. Klopp elevated Salah. Just like Pep elevated.
Obviously, he's not his dad, is he? He's not his dad. He didn't make him, did he? I'm talking about
created. I didn't say created.
I'm talking about a player. Yeah, but you're just going on semantics again. You're doing this back and forth for no reason. You're bored. I don't understand.
I'm not. I'm just simply saying that, like, you're. All right, go on. Continue. I want to know.
Wenger created an invincible team. He created an invincible team. A team that went the whole season. He created some of the best players that we've ever seen, ever.
Okay.
This is what I'm trying to explain.
You keep doing that, yeah. I'm trying to understand the errors of Wenger because again, you told me about 98, 2000, but you're talking about seasons. I don't know era because you're forgetting that he managed. Wait, just it was
2004.
So 90. I'm talking about across his whole period though. From
between 98. No, but I'm giving you an error between 98 and 2004, 2005. That gap there, maybe even 97 and 2004, 2005. It was an Arsenal, Man United period, really and truly. That's what I grew up on. Yeah? That's what I grew up on. Say that again.
The back end, obviously, Chelsea 10405, isn't it? 405.
Yeah. Obviously, that's new school. That's new school. They started
in the 03 or 04. Did they not finish second? Is it second? Yeah, they finished second now. So like even then, Chelsea in 03 or
maybe
under Ranieri. Yeah, they finished second under Ranieri. The season before Mourinho coming. No, I was just saying because even when you say it's like a Chelsea, just Arsenal, Man United thing, isn't it?
No, Chelsea came in towards the back end of the
back end. So I think it'd be fair to say that his era stopped after the year after the Invincible years. His
error was created. Yeah, when he created his era, it was some of the best of all time. That's the point I'm making. It's not like a team. This team that he created is one of the best teams we've ever seen. There's not many other teams that can compete with that team. You can't compete with Bergkamp and Henry and Overmars and Petit and Vieira. Some of these teams. That's
the argument you make, but we've seen many like in the last, let's just say, 10
what do
years.
You mean the argument I make? What do you mean by the argument?
Because there's City fans that will tell you the treble or the quadruple.
No, but that's the point I'm making. That's why Pep is great because he's created some of the best teams we've ever seen. The only team in the league, there's only 4 teams in the league that have created some of the best teams we've ever seen. One of them is Man City with Pep Guardiola. One of them is the Chelsea team, Arsenal, and Liverpool. What do you mean 5 teams? What 5 teams?
Man City's there now. There's a traditional top 4. Man
City,
Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, United,
Chelsea. Oh yeah, 5. Sorry, 5 teams. So there's only 5 managers that can say that they in the
new Premier League. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I agree.
There's only 5. So no one else has created a team. The teams like that, and this is not
dynasties. You're talking about dynasties. Yeah, nobody else has created dynasties. It's only those 5 teams.
The best player ever in the Premier League was an Arsenal player that Wenger created. So he hasn't just created a team, he's created individual players that we might never see again. That's the point. We've got, like, let's say Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole's the best left back probably we've ever seen in world football ever. Probably the best left back of all time. People say Carlos, Marcelo, Ashley Cole. He's in the conversation.
Liverpool fans, they'll tell you that team that won the year under Klopp had some of the best players ever. They'll tell you Robertson.
No, but they're not wrong. They're not wrong.
They're not. But that's my point. Is like, you're an Arsenal fan, so you're more biased to your team. You're going to say all this. But then when we speak to other fans, it's like there's all these different teams that go in the mix. So when you sit there and say like, oh, it's a fact that Arsene Wenger would be doing this, and that, and it's like, it's no facts because obviously you look at these other managers you've got to compete with. They've created some of the best teams of all time as well. So it's not like he's competing with scrubs. He's competing.
No one that he's competing now has created the best team. The only one is
he's getting to the back end.
It's only one manager.
We're talking about right now. Again, that's why I do periods. Because if I was talking about, let's say, the last 8 or 10 years, 2015, 2025, we've had Klopp, we've had Pep in that time period. So
that's only 2 managers, bro.
But in those 2 managers, they've probably created 3 or 4 dynasty teams in that period.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think what you're doing, and a lot of people do this, they're thinking that what's happened now is like the greatest they've ever seen, or it's the most, or whatever. You see what's happening now in the Premier League now, yeah. There's not been any greatness that anyone's seen. No one can see greatness. Nobody can argue any greatness. The back in the day,
not greatness. Some people say he is. I don't think he is, but I'm just
Salah is greatness. I'm saying Salah is greatness, but what I'm saying is, I'm talking about the teams that have been created.
Oh yeah.
The teams that have been created. There's no greatness. The greatness was previously. Do you understand? Klopp and Pep, the battle that they had for those last 3-4 years. That is something that we can maybe talk about in the future as maybe they were both 2 great teams, understand? But what's happening now, there's been no greatness for years.
Yeah, for
the only thing is apart from but it's Pep, innit? That's what I'm saying. It's Pep. That's why Pep is up there. Pep, Ferguson, Wenger, Mourinho, Klopp's not even in that bracket
But don't
yet.
you also think the argument could be that there's been no greatness because the lack of competition, though? Because it's hard to make for a team to be great when they're not competing with anyone that is great. Like, you got to compete with other great teams for you to be renowned as great, right?
You got, yeah, but what I'm saying is Wenger, when he came, there was no greatness. What's his name? Even though we had George Graham and stuff like that, and Bruce Rioch, to be fair, but what's his name? Ferguson.
Graham, he won us a trophy whilst Wenger was at you, man, innit? I know you remember that.
I don't remember that. But what I'm saying is, obviously, Alex Ferguson was doing great things, innit? He's a great guy. He's greatness personified, innit? So to compete with that is mental, innit? But we have greatness needs time, innit? You need time. You can't be great. You can be great now, but we need time and history over time to. It ages with time, innit? It becomes more fine wine. You know what I'm saying? So we have to wait time to see how great these teams really were. We can't really judge it yet.
All right, then let me just ask you this before we wrap up, innit? I know we're gonna end in a second. Do you think this Arsenal team has the potential to have greatness in it? Because you've got a lot of big players in there, a lot of
this team now.
Yeah, do you think it has the potential to be great? I don't know, because obviously, if you think they're going to win stuff over the next couple of years, obviously, it's predictions. I'm not saying you're guaranteeing.
I ain't seen no greatness in it. Greatness. I think we've got a potential.
Do you think they have the potential to become great? Is what I'm saying. Obviously, right now you've not seen it, but let's just say over 3 years, this is all hypothetical. Let's say if you did win bare trophies over the next 3 years, you'd argue and say that this is the best team in the last 20 since the Invincible team, because you're not won a league since then, innit? So I'm asking you. Is there any signs of potential greatness you see in this team or manager? Or
the only greatness, greatness is a big word. I think the only greatness that I can see in this team is Saliba. I can't see any other greatness in the team yet. There's no other team. There's no other players in the team that I can see that are great. That Timber maybe and Saliba. I can't. Saka potentially, but I can't see. I've seen players play on the wing that are a far different level to what Saka's doing. So greatness wise is only Saliba and potentially Timber that I can see currently that can become great and generational. I can't see any others. Saliba's probably the main one, but I can't see any others. Why? I don't know. Can you?
No, it's fair. It's fair. No, it's a good point. I just want to understand it. Obviously you guys, because I know Arsenal's coming to a point of where you guys are. Let's have it right. You're building a very good team. This is the strongest team you've had since the Invincible team, no doubt. This is definitely, when you look at man for man, it's probably one of the strongest teams you've had at least the last 15 years. So when I'm looking at, I'm just want to understand: do they think that this has potential to be greatness? Because I'm sure Liverpool fans probably want to say it now, and probably Man City fans. It's hard at the moment, but it's just curiosity, fan. Just a curious answer, isn't it?
I hear you. It's a good
we'll see it. We'll see how you man perform across the season.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Jules is not going live today. He's all argued out. So I'm gonna send you over to Dan Potts. He's live now. FamZone TV rated up. You know what I'm saying? You know the pattern. You know the zone. Yeah, man. Big up the people. Big up them. Make sure you smash the like on the way out. Make sure you subscribe and like the video and subscribe to Durag Diaries as well. It's my brother, even though he gets on my nerves, but he is my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's my guy. It's my G. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, FamZone TV rated up. I'm gonna send you over to Dan Potts now, football's 12th man, and just say FamZone TV raid. You get me? Can't be.